Hey, good morning everybody. Glad to see you're already here. It's almost noon. I did not get started early this morning like I had planned. I woke up at 6 and I watched some videos by some of my favorite videographers, and I'm addicted to watching certain people. Goon Squad, if you like watching two great guys work on vehicles, and I used to work on cars when I was younger, had hot rods and whatnot. Really like watching those guys. Couple other guys that I watched. Jay Bates, he had a video out this morning, so I watched that. If you don't know Jay, he's a wonderful woodworker. Thinks everything to the nth degree what he's going to do. I fail miserably at stuff like that. He's actually signed a board above the door in my shop, and I cherish that. What else? Watched a couple of other guys do some stuff this morning. About 10 videos, so 15 minutes of video, that takes up a lot of time in the morning. So anyway, last week I did a wooden pen, slimline pen, turning it on the lathe from start to finish, from choosing a piece of wood to finishing it and assembling it on the pen press and showing you guys what it looked like as a finished product. Today I am going to select a piece of acrylic from my board. I want to appeal to you guys. I want to do something worthwhile that you guys want to see. I think what I do I'm good at, but I guess I'm not good enough at it to appeal to the audience. So if you guys, I've never wanted to be a quitter, but I don't think I'm good enough at this to keep doing it. So I'm going to do the video today on turning an acrylic pen. I'm going to do it on a cigar style pen that I got, and it's got the oil slick colors on it, and I'm going to do it on one of the pens that one of the blanks that I made. It's what I've been calling my stained glass blanks. So I'm going to make a pen today on this one with the cigar style, start to finish, show you what I do, how I do it, and I hope you guys get something from the series I did, from buying a lathe to getting some tools to starting out by turning pens and doing this. And I'm going to stay on Facebook. I'm going to keep making acrylic blanks and selling those. So I think people like the blanks that I make, so I'm going to keep doing that. So anyway, I'm going to get started, and we're going to make an acrylic pen. This is the blank that I've chosen to do today. It is a stained glass, but it's done with a white background, and I think it'll look pretty cool. So we'll get it measured out for the pen tubes, cut the blank on the bandsaw, drill it out on the lathe, and glue up the blanks, and do the process, and then turn it and finish it on the lathe, and then assemble it on the pen press. I need a pen kit. oil spill cigar style pin, and I got this from one of the pin vendors somewhere out there. I don't remember who he was. Whoever you are, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And all right, pin refill with spring, both ends of the pin tubes, the transmission, the nib, the clip, and the dividers for the center of the pin. Everything is here. I'm going to take a pencil, or I'm sorry, a black marker. It's easier to see if I use a marker on this. And I'm going to put, yes, I want to put the top shorter end of the pin on this end. Mark the blank there. And let's see, I want to capture that end as well. So I'm going to mark this end. Now, by capturing the curls and the swirls in this end of the blank, I have the pin tube more to this end, and then I'm going to cut out this center section. I'm going to lose a little bit, but I want to gain. I'm going to lose this bit in here between the marks, but I'm going to gain the curl and the curl on each end of the blank, and I'd rather preserve those than this center section. So I'm going to go over to the bandsaw, get my sled out, just a simple sled that I made, bring up don't throw away your cutoffs. If you chip out something while you're turning, if you chip your blank while you're turning on the lathe, these are really good to have for repairs. So always keep these till you're done. I'm going to run over to the drill press or the lathe and drill these out with a 10mm drill bit, I think. I think that's what it is. I'll be right back. I went over to my lathe and I drilled out the holes in each one of my blanks. Now I need a piece of 200 grit sandpaper, and I need to rough up my pin tubes. Using sandpaper on your tubes, you give the glue something to bite into. So I'm going to take my thick CA and apply it to the tube and make sure it doesn't go too far through so it's not out the other end. Then take accelerator. I've got Instaset. Any of them will do. I don't prefer any one over the other anyhow. Alright, I went and I got my bushings for some cigar style pin kit. Next, I'm going to take my blanks to the disc sander and trim these up. My disc is about done. Alrighty. You can see where the tube is shining on each end. So you know you've got a blank trimmed to the appropriate length. And that one end and that end. Man, I hope that camera don't fall out. It's loose. Everything in focus a little better than last time. Had a couple guys say they couldn't see what I was doing, and I apologize for that. All right. All right, bring up my tailstock, lock it into place. Tighten up the mandrel saver, lock it, bring up the tool rest. About right there. And wide open on the lathe. Three-quarter inch roughing gouge. Sorry about that. All right, here I'm going to use my small skew chisel to trim up the ends. All I'm doing here with my skew is to match the bushing up to the end of the blank. Then I'm going to use my easy wood tool to shape it. That's just lovely. I'm going to dry sand this at 2000 RPM, 400 grit sandpaper. Try to remove all these little tool marks. That's not aggressive enough. I'm using 240 grit sandpaper. Pretty good. Now I'll go back to the 400 grit. And go end to end, put down paper towel, try to prevent some of the rust on the bedways. Wet sanding, stop the lathe, go end to end and just go through each grit. Come on. Now I'm going to apply my Eddystone diamond infused paste. Anybody that hasn't used this yet, you don't know what you're missing. If you want to get a top-notch shine and finish, especially on acrylics and CA, this polish is amazing. And one more time, find a clean piece of my paper towel, make sure I get every last bit of that off. Work it into the blank really good, and that looks really good. That's pretty cool. Yes, I'm biased. I like my pen blanks. I enjoy making them, and I enjoy turning them. I think they look really good. Now, when you go to your table to assemble, it is necessary, completely necessary, to make sure you have the right ends of the pen kit in the right place, in the right order. I have my pen turned. This is that end, this is this end. And you have to make sure you put each piece in the blank correctly. You don't want to do it backwards or in the wrong blank. This is the nib, the pointy end of the pen. I'm going to press that in first. Press the nib end into the end of the pen tube. This is called the coupler. It goes in this end right here. We drop the refill, attach the transmission. It screws onto the end, and make sure it works. And that looks very nice. And then we assemble the other end, which is the clip end. And when you're putting the clip on your pen tube, you want to find a place by looking around the blank where it doesn't interfere with the look of the finish too much. So right about there, that looks good. Add another spacer and press pin together. And the clip end is in, and I still have a lot of my colors that are able to be seen. And then I'm going to go on the other end and add the beauty ring. Push pin together. Take a paper towel, preferably a Scott's blue paper towel, because they're really soft. And wipe off cigar style pen kit with a blank that I poured in my shop, and it's called an Oil Slick Pen Kit. And I think it looks pretty good. All right, goodbye.